Oh, hey, we're back. That's right. It's all three of us. It's me, Dupree, and Kurt.
Wow.
You,
You
me,
and
and
Dupree,
Dupree.
huh?
Yeah, isn't that a movie? I never seen it, but or maybe I
Oh,
have
here,
seen it.
I got JDZ here. We're all good.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
You, me,
we're
and
in the
JDZ.
you, me, JDZ. We are backlogged. I still need to publish that last one we did. It's been busy. It's the holiday times. It's the times of the
Yes.
twinkling and tinkling of
Yes.
the Christmas trees and menorah candles and Kwanzaa candles and
That's right.
um, whatever the heck people like celebrating these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. And a happy holidays to all our campers. I know this is coming out a little later than Christmas time, but I hope you had a very happy holiday. I hope you found some Meta 2 2-pack blisters in the wild
Oh
and
my gosh, yeah.
and you stuffed your stockings with Loveland Frogman. Um, it's a good time. So from I know this kind of feels like an ending to it, but from all of us at Giddm, uh, you know, happy holidays. We hope it was a good one, and we hope that moving into this new year, we can continue to give you the top quality content that you come here for. All 18 of you, according to Chris Sheridan.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess shout out Chris Sheridan, no longer head of cardio, so shout out to um, making moves, making new plans in 2026, doing new
He's a
things.
businessman, if nothing else, and you have to applaud that. So,
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he didn't make 52 million like Michael Waddell, but he's getting
Hey,
close.
did you see that Michael Waddell was on the Carnival Cruise, or sorry, it was Royal Caribbean Cruise Line Stars of the Seas, apparently.
No.
Oh, okay. There's some great photos on his Instagram, so shout out Michael Waddell living his best life on a Caribbean cruise. Um, and
Actually, there's no way.
yeah. If you can share your screen, if you end up finding it, please do for the viewers at home. But
Yeah, I will.
um, I just think, we're moving into 26. It's time to put away the sins of the past, look forward to new beginnings, new years, new beginnings. And
Whoa, hold on. There's a callback.
yeah. And celebrate all the things that we're looking forward to in the TCG world.
Yeah,
So,
very nice. That's
um
great.
Kurt, you asked me some good questions earlier before we started this thing about like, oh, what do you want to talk about for this podcast? I'm thinking mostly looking forward into the new year, what we are
Mm-hmm.
doing now, what we
Oh.
like to do in 26. Um,
Is this pre or post fiscal year 27?
27 or
Well, we're in
26?
fiscal year 26 right now.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just trying to figure this out. Are we
Yeah.
talking about like the end of the calendar year into the new year or the end of the fiscal year in March? Because that's when
Count
taxes are due. That's whenever all your
Tax Masterson in the house, right?
that's when all your sales from PayPal and Zelle, you know, Daddy Warbucks is going to be sending you a 1099 from all your card shows you went to, asking
Mm,
you to pay up or shut up. So,
yeah.
hey, shouts out to all the TCG vendors that will be committing tax fraud come a few months from
I
now.
know, right? Like that is the craziest thing. I
It's
just took losses all year long. Wait, aren't you the guy that's been telling me Pokemon's up 700% and it's like, "Oh,
bad market.
I'm beating the S&P 500 because I buy and sell Pokemon." Listen, good for you. I'm happy everybody. We can do a little financial talk real quick if we want to go down that route. I'm
Oh,
glad
why not?
everybody is able to make some money with Pokemon and TCGs. It does kind of give me a little bit of the ick with the whole like, oh well, all right, modern Pokemon's kind of shitting the bed, so let's go over to One Piece now and make this a miserable thing for everybody that likes One Piece. And maybe we'll play it, but we definitely won't. We'll just talk about essentially driving
Yeah,
up all the prices, and then we'll dump that and we'll go on to Riftbound and rinse and repeat some more. And
that's right.
Pokemon's just over here. I think the market's very much everybody's dumping modern because this is something that's been known and has been realized for a while, but I think everybody's collectively saying, "Oh, wait, there are a million of these things." And oh, wait, the demand for this new set that people have zero nostalgia for isn't there? Huh. Okay, so there's two routes, right? They rinse and go into one piece, or they consolidate into vintage, which you're starting to see some vintage prices go up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are today. Even my old vintage Pokemon, because that's the thing. Like, I actually do like Pokemon, but the whole modern, I don't know, like post 2020, maybe 2021 Pokemon, the whole vibe just kind of gives me it's just not cool or fun for me. I don't know what it is. I like from a collectible standpoint, I like my old like Japanese vending series, and I have no intention of like selling them. I just like them.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then
I think maybe you don't like it as much is because it's getting a little too much attention from the normies, if you will. And they're coming in, and it's not for the love of the autistic game, that we've spent our entire lives cultivating knowledge over. It's just to get a quick lick, and some people may see that, some people being people that have significant positions in Pokemon cards, they may see that as a positive, but for us, it rubs us the wrong way a little bit, right?
I mean,
Because
I'm pro lick for sure. Like,
well, yeah,
uh,
but pro lick, but not my lick.
yeah. As long as
I'm all for getting the nut, but don't try and get in on my nut.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only so much nut to go around.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Yeah. But and my whole thing's been like, okay, we'll let them have modern. I can buy up old stuff, and sometimes I
Look,
do. But yeah, even old stuff's just expensive. So
everything's expensive.
yeah, everything's
Everything's
expensive. It's really hard to justify like buying really expensive cards in general at this current point in time.
I think it's almost impossible to justify buying old cards to use.
Yes.
Like you cannot, like us, we're card players with collector on the side, right? And whenever you look at a vintage card and you're like, yeah, I want to play an old format and I want to build a deck of real cards, not proxies, not, print offs that you slip in front of a bunch of energy cards. I want to buy the real cards. And then you go and you are looking at the price and you're like, holy, this is like $2,000. And the way that Pokemon trends, it's probably going to be more than $2,000 at some point.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, damn, why would I want to mash these cards in a deck and take them to bar locals? Why would I do that
Yeah.
and potentially ruin their value? It's like, golly, but like you want to play the real cards. You want to see that nice holofoil from 2006 in your cards that you're looking through and you're shuffling and you're sleeving up, but it's really hard to justify cards to play with that aren't modern. Modern, and I'm mainly just talking about Pokemon. Modern Pokemon is dirt cheap. There's not a deck in min rarity over $100. Dirt cheap to play Pokemon. You just got to play it against 4,000 other people. Riftbound is the hot new thing, so Riftbound decks we're in the 5, 7, 800 like Yu-Gi-Oh prices. 5, 7, $800, but you only have to compete against 1,300 other players in order to get that top spot. Whereas in Pokemon, your deck's $100, but you go to a regional and you got to play against 3,500 other people to try and win.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like this weird situation because I was talking to Kai the other night about, I don't know, I think I was like, hey, what's the value, or what did he think about this? I think he made like a Yu-Gi-Oh post or something, and I was like, oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, like, and we could talk about the full art stuff going on too, because I think that's going to be kind of fun. But Yeah, I think that's like what prompted the conversation. Then it went down like the route of, hey, do we play one? It's the classic like we all used to play cards together. What card game should we play? And I just get so tripped up on it. Like I think I said this in our previous podcast. I'll go ahead and publish it tonight, but I still think like sorcery would be the one to play. But then Riftbound has got the highest EV, but then you're swimming in the pool of spikes. So if you do Riftbound, maybe you just stick to side events. But then the barrier to entry, the cost to entry for a deck for Riftbound's like really disproportionate to what you probably could expect to perform under when you know in their competitive scene. And then there's One Piece over here. You could compete in One Piece, but the value's all in top 8 as far as I know for One Piece. And then I looked at their side events, and their side events were like you might get a box or something.
Yeah, it's dookie.
Yeah, so there's no doesn't really make sense to really compete in One Piece. And One Piece isn't a bad game either. It's just like it is and it's been a while since I like looked at the meta and everything. I just remember when it first came out. I liked the Nami deck, and the game mostly felt like solitaire at the time. So unless if that's changed, I like games with interaction. I like the hand traps and all that fun stuff. I think that's what makes card games kind of fun.
For sure, yeah.
Different than poker per se. I don't know what I'm getting at other than like, yeah, the conversation still goes to like, what card game should we play? What should we do? Like, you know, there's still like that void of what's the Goldilocks zone here when it comes to playing cards and sort of being rewarded for playing those games. I think it is sorcery, but I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on that.
Oh man, it's hard, right? It's hard to it's hard to really find that, because you know, with your old passion in Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously modern Yu-Gi-Oh is nothing like what old Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's a different game. It's a different game,
right? If you're trying to correlate old to new and like a game that played the same as a kid to the new, it's definitely Pokemon. They don't have any like crucial game mechanics that have switched up over the last 30 years. And it is next year will be Pokemon's, I believe, 30th anniversary. So there's that. One Piece, man, I just don't think I'm good enough at cards anymore, if I'm being honest with you. Like, and maybe that's just where at least me and you are at in life as 30 somethings with families and careers. Maybe we just don't have the time to devote to getting good, quote unquote, right? So for One Piece, I just don't think I'm good enough. I don't have as much of a connection to the IP as maybe you do. You know, I can say I've probably watched 3 episodes of One Piece in my entire life.
Oh, I've seen hundreds of episodes. I like the IP enough, but there's something deep down in my old millennial bones that gives me like the big warning signs. It gives me Dragon Ball Z TCG vibes.
Yeah. So I think sorcery is there. If you really want to know my opinion, I think Cookie Run's the lick to get. You know, a Korean-backed company that's made gorillions of dollars through their mobile app and is now sort of trickling off into the trading card game world is it seems good, but it's small, right? That's you're trying to find the balance. Interesting enough to get people in, get your fodder in, but profitable enough that you actually don't just waste your time doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a tough balance, right? Because you know, with One Piece, I don't think there's as many bad One Piece players as there are bad Pokemon players, as there are bad. I don't think there's probably any bad Yu-Gi-Oh players. Maybe there are, because they find an anime girl deck that they want to play, and they'll sit at the bottom tables all day at a regional to play it.
I don't even know how there are so many Yu-Gi-Oh players. That's the weird part for me.
Like, it is weird, right?
It's really weird.
So it's a hard thing to try and navigate. I agree with you. I think that Sorcery, if sorcery, and don't get me wrong, I love sorcery. I played sorcery today. I've got a box of bolt. I got a box of Gothic bolt in my hand right now that I purchased because I am interested enough to sorcery to buy cards and build decks. I think that's great. But if they just would have done stuff on a 6-month timeline instead of a 1-year timeline for all their stuff, I think maybe it would have taken off more.
Oh yeah, I think
It's
yeah.
tough, and I understand why they've done it. Right? I get, I get that. That's the like. Okay, we need to take our time. We need to make the product good, and that's probably why the product is so good. Right? Is because they release it once a year. They're very methodical in their decisions. Nothing is ever done quickly, for better or worse.
Yeah, it's just I think it's all about I think it's just the culture we live into, or it's just we're used to the next thing. And um like sorcery would have to come up outside of making a new set, they need to come up with new ways to continue to engage their player community because TCG players are like diagnosed or undiagnosed definitely have a preponderance or what's the word for it, like they're mostly ADHD riddled folks with some level of autism where it's like
Sure.
the next shiny thing that comes around is going to be the thing that grabs their attention.
Yeah.
And
And I don't know. I think I'm no exception to that either. I think my motto and your motto as well is to play cards for free, right?
absolutely,
Doesn't
yeah.
really matter what card game I'm playing, as long as I can do it without paying for it.
If I can net even in my hobby, which is what makes TCG special. I think we've said this before, but like what makes this particularly unique is just about every hobby you lose money in. That's kind of like what a hobby is.
That's what a hobby is, right?
Yeah, yeah. But there
But not
is,
TCGs.
if done right, yeah.
Right. If
Eh,
done correctly, where you are strategic in your purchase and you're not horrible at the game, then you can net even or even make a little money off of something that you enjoy. And yeah, it's tough. So to answer your question, I definitely still think that sorcery and cookie run are there. I think that depending on what we see in the next year for cookie run, we'll decide on a few things. Sorcery, we've got our biggest tournament that they've ever done coming up sometime next year, Avatar of the Realm. It's their world championships, so to speak. I guess you would call it a nationals
mhm.
because it's open. Anyone can sign up for it. It's not invitation only.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay,
Right.
cool.
It's not invitation only for this one. It's called Avatar of the Realm, and we don't know when it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Okay.
I would assume if they if they were smart, they would choose the highest attendance convention that they go to, and that's between the Courtesan Cup, Sorcery Con, or Gen Con.
Yeah,
They should pick Gen Con.
I would agree. Um, even if they have to cap it, I mean, obviously
Even
they'll have to.
exactly.
Well, that would be great if they. It almost it's such a catch-22 because as a player, you're like, I want to be able to get in, especially if this is the thing that you've been looking forward to all year. But
Yeah.
you really want to be able to tell people that you capped, like hey, listen, like you almost want
We
to.
had to turn people away.
Yeah, yeah, like
It's
even
like we
Metazoo.
it's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're like, yeah, when Metazoo first started, like, oh, we had to cap the tournament at 64. We had to cap Caster's Cup at 300 because we ran out of stuff to give the players, right?
Yeah,
To give the participants. And it's like that is a mark of, oh, wait, people want to play this game as opposed to unlimited spots. Everyone come, do what you want, right? And I agree. I think it should be at Gen Con. I heard a counter argument saying, Gen Con gaming tables are kind of expensive. Like, if they're going to hold their biggest tournament of the year there,
well,
then that's going to be
you
costly.
make it $50 to $100 entry,
Exactly,
and
right? You make it a whole event. You don't just, it's not just a tournament that you come for 7 rounds of Swiss and, 4 rounds of Top Cut.
Yeah.
You make it a whole event and you up the price a little bit so you can recoup the cost, and it's your most successful production ever,
Or
right?
you do
That's
like a repack. So you take your 3 sets that you've released, repack them into a new booster and stamp them, or something along that lines, right? Like
anything, right?
they're not mechanically unique, but it's special enough that like your $100 gets you entry to the tournament, a little extra like thing you can sell to hopefully recoup some of that
And
cost.
they do that, right? Like that's what they do currently. They gave this tower promo. They like to do alternate artwork,
That
but they
works. Yeah.
they did this tower card, which is used in like I'd say probably 60% of decks. They gave you a reprint of it with new artwork. You can only get it at the regional. That's what they did at Gen Con last year. They can do that again. Just, make the price a little higher, maybe give us an extra promo card, and then we're set. Then we're okay, right? But to think that they wouldn't want to do it at their largest exposure tournament is kind of crazy to me. I would hope that they do it as opposed to choosing another grassroots location. Now, to be fair, they've done a lot. They have presence in all of these grassroots events, right? They're going to be at Sorcery Con. They're going to be at the Midland Cup. They're going to be at Courtesan Cup. They are there, but they're there to support. They're like, oh, we'll give you some boxes or we'll give you some promo cards to give away, but we're not throwing on the shindig.
Yeah, but that's the thing that these indies need to really understand. It's like they have to support this. They're
Right.
not Konami. They're not they're not Wizards. They're not freaking Pokemon.
They're not.
Like sure that might work for those companies. Like here's our support is just product or whatever, but they need to be there in a more hands-on kind of way, I guess is the way to phrase it. I don't know.
Yeah. And Gen Con is that event for them, right? That is the one that is run by Sorcery. So
Yeah.
they certainly need to do that. But yeah, I think Cookie Run, I think Sorcery are good ends. You could be Riftbound. You could have a 1,300 person capacity at your regional qualifiers, and they say that there were over 8,000 people trying to register as soon as the event dropped. Now, again, we will speak on this. Riot Games has infinite money. For those of you
Yeah.
that don't think that you're gonna like get one over, the big thing was people were able to register early, buy up a bunch of tickets, and then try and resell them.
Yeah,
Because
that's even better than going to the event, right? Like,
right, exactly. And I'll be completely transparent. I had a ticket to the Houston regional qualifier. I was not going to be able to make it that weekend, so I resold my ticket. I had the ability to change the name on the ticket, and I resold it.
and
Riot
now
caught
in all fairness too, just to like help protect your narrative a little bit, you did have intentions of actually playing.
most certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the deck sleeved up, I had the reps in, I was ready to go, but I couldn't, so I sold my ticket. Riot caught wind of this from this last regional in Houston, as well as the one coming up in Vegas, and said, "Hey, by the way, you bought the ticket. It's tied to your transaction ID with the name that's on, what you registered. There ain't no transferring, buddy." So
Yeah.
those 10 tickets that you bought, that you spent $3,000 on trying to flip them for $500 a piece, $600 a piece,
Yeah.
get bent, idiot. And maybe if there's 100 to 200 less people at our event, it's okay. You don't pull one over on them.
Yeah, they don't feel the same things that like an indie does, if that makes sense. Like they're not going
Yeah.
to be like, "Oh wow, our turnout wasn't great."
They said in the first 30 minutes there were over 8,000 people trying to register for this event, and they had 1,300 spots that were sold out within the first 3 minutes. And they
Yeah. I tried signing up too. Um,
It's
but I don't know.
good
I don't.
luck.
I wasn't that committed to it, right? Like
Right.
I hit like a waiting screen or whatever. I don't know what it said, but I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Right. Right. You're like, whatever. But again, I say all that. Riftbound, if you can find it, if you're good enough at card games, Riftbound is certainly a lick. Um,
It's fun. Like it's actually
a
fun
fun game.
game. It's
It's a
weird.
fun game. It's very profitable.
It's so weird. Like
It's one of the most known IPs ever, right? Rivaling Pokemon, rivaling Yu-Gi-Oh, rivaling Magic in League of Legends. So again, they can do whatever they want. They've fixed how side events worked because again, I don't think we've talked about at the Houston Regional Qualifier. There were prize wall exclusive leader cards, which for those of you that don't know about Riftbound, you play with a little leader. That's like your deck champion for your game. You play it out alongside, independent of your deck, and they had unique metal leader cards of each of the leaders that were out in the game that you could only get at the prize wall. And it wasn't a matter of getting the prize wall tickets from a side event. It was a matter of being the first person at the prize wall to buy the metal card.
yeah, that's a mess. I mean, but they did, from my understanding, learn from that.
Oh, instantly. After
Yeah.
the first day, they said, yeah, we ain't doing all this shit. You're not camping out outside the venue hall doors at 4 a.m. so that you can run over to the prize wall and pick up this card. We're just going to send it to via an email, whether you have the opportunity to purchase one or not. And
Which
that's
is
just what
great.
you get. Yeah, it's
I
what it is.
mean,
That's how it should be, right? And you can get your play mats or your booster packs or your boxes or whatever. You can get those no problem. But for these metal cards, you're going to have to join an email list, and we will let you know whenever you can come get it.
the crazy thing, in my opinion, with all of that is like what makes it still worth it is the packs. The product itself has value,
It really
which
does.
which is the hard thing to explain to like the player mentality, where it's like you want like that healthy. I don't know, explain it. Like to some extent, you want the scalper, or you want the what is it, like you want the flipper economy, so that way they can inflate the secondary market of the product prices. And it sucks buying when you need it to buy the deck, but it rewards you even if you're doing like, okay, pack per win, or
Yeah.
like tournament pricing's just a booster box. That artificially inflated value there by the secondary market from the other Yahoos at least makes the player incentive better. Does that
Oh, for sure.
that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
does that track?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's a paradise, right? Whenever that's the case, as long as you can acquire your cards not
MSRP, or like,
not at scalper prices,
right,
then
exactly.
then this is exactly what you want, right?
Yeah,
You want the booster boxes to be hard to find. You want the cards to be inflated in price because you're out there playing, you're earning the cards, and you're making your money back.
yeah.
I've made bukus just going to play locals. Just
Now
going to play back per win.
the trap that these folks have to be considerate of is like if they are to go into a heavy print run cycle, and then they essentially like, the secondary market is MSRP or lower,
Mm-hmm.
then they have to start making sure they have the infrastructure or whatever built, so that way they're giving exclusive prizing to players if the product's no longer valued at what it once was.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. So
it
like
does.
that's the other way of going about that. Obviously you could have both as well. Like just tournament packs work really great. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh historically, like their products are worth nothing on the secondary market, but they've always added some incentive to the players just by the tournament packs.
That's funny that you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh being worth nothing, right? I got a text from my partner, and she said, "Oh my God, look at this box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's only $25. Is this a good deal? Should we buy this? Like, is this a flip?" And I was like, "No, honey. This is the price of Yu-Gi-Oh cards."
Yeah, like that's just what they are, and that's what everybody. It's not even like a surprising thing. It's just like it's understood. Like, hey, this is what
It's surprising to
our
people that
game
are not
pieces.
used to that, right? Like your game pieces are worth nothing,
Yeah,
just zero. There's a few cards in the set that are worth double the price of the box, and then other than that, it's worthless. It's not worth the laminated cardboard they printed on.
the
It,
the
it's
weird
crazy.
the weird catch to Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think it's just the hardest thing for I don't know anybody to wrap their mind around is like there is collectible aspects of it, but it is built for players. And when we were having our vintage format discussion, it is actually one of the few games you can go play a 20 plus year old format, and you could spend. Listen, if you spent $40 on a goat format deck, you're balling. That deck is probably fairly blinged out.
Oh yeah,
You could have a goat format deck. I'm easily sub 20, easily, and be
easily
competitive. Um, I guess my point to all this is like every game has their own economy and things of that nature, but you really need to just kind of look and see like, hey, what's your appetite for something that you're gonna either be playing for fun or competitively, and what are your expected returns on that? I'm personally comfortable sinking, heck, even no more than $100. I'm willing to sink like $100 into something that I'm willing to play multiple or many times over
mm.
as a deck. But
Hmm.
if it's more than that, like when we're talking Riftbound, because I guess I guess most of our I guess the 10 people that do listen to us have played competitively before, likely that it's not outlandish to say you spent more than 200, hell, some people even 500 on a meta competitive deck when you're traveling to go to a tournament. So
For
the
sure.
difference is you have to have those aspirational events knowing that you're going to be traveling and competing and potentially making that money back. And
Hmm.
a lot of these companies, a lot of these businesses or TCGs don't really have that set up at all. Hence, it's even like where Meta 2 is, right? Like I think if there's nothing to play for, then there's no reason to buy in.
Play.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no reason to buy your cards. There's
Yeah.
no reason to play your game if there's nothing to play for.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to break it to you, but if it was for the love of the game, then I'd just go play something nostalgic. I'd go play Pokemon. I'd go play Magic. I'd go play Yu-Gi-Oh. If it was
Yeah.
something that I wanted to like get that card itch, right? It's
That's what
it's
these indies are up against too, is they don't like there is actual like you can't discount the power of nostalgia. Like
no,
um when you have a 30 plus year olds and let's face it, everybody's being squeezed in 20 some odd different ways in this economy. Um and you're asking them, hey, buy my new thing when there's 20 some odd plus examples of new things failing elsewhere.
yeah,
um you're really gonna have to convince me, otherwise I'm just gonna go to the old thing that I likely already have the cards and stuff for as is, and just like if we're talking love of the game, then I'm just gonna play the stuff that I already have the love of the game for, not
right, exactly.
your new thing.
You've got to incentivize me, and if
Yeah.
you don't, then forget about it, dude. I'm just not. It's just not worth my time.
Yeah.
So it's tough out there. It's tough out there. Not for Riftbound though. Riftbound has a big three, the brand recognition, despite only being on the market for a few months. So
Riftbound's good for now. It starts getting shaky once again. Like it's we. I just think we're in this weird card economy right now, and I've seen this happen before, like during the last dip cycle, where people rotated. You have your Pokemon whales rotating out and pumping money into One Piece because they think that's the next thing, and I think the step past One Piece is going to be into Riftbound. Riftbound I think the players are always at the forefront of the card economies as far as like where the next big thing's going to happen, and then you have I guess like investor types that kind of move in shortly behind them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they kind of start pumping up box prices, and I don't know. I think Riftbound's going to get really nutty here soon, and maybe that's the incentive to get in at the ground floor. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I just don't, in my mind, spending $500 on a deck that I don't even know if I'm going to go to the tournament for makes me feel like nauseous. So
Oh, for sure. No, you definitely. It's like you can't afford to wait due to the price of cards, but you also can't afford to not get in if you buy the cards. Because then what am I going to do? Go to locals?
yeah,
What? Go to locals, my $500 deck, and recoup it $20 at a time?
yeah,
Like,
that's I
can't do
mean,
that.
and like I said, don't give me, it's fun. Earthbound's fun, but I think there's like 20 other ways to have fun without spending $500 on one deck.
I think you can think of 20 other things to spend $500 on that is more fun than playing Riftbound.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I could buy plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh decks for that and have a blast
That's
playing
right.
all those different decks as well.
Or $501 scratch tickets. Think of the dopamine on that.
Ooh, shoot. Yeah. I think for $500 I would buy, I've been wanting this forever. I can't ever justify it, but like Lego, I want like a Lego chess set. I think that'd be sick.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Where you build your own pieces.
Yeah, man. Well, like they have, I don't know, whatever. They have some cool stuff, some old Legos.
Mm.
Jib put me on to Legos. I chatted with him over the holiday for a bit, and he was talking to me like, of course, he's always like, "What's the next thing we can try to flip?" I'm just kidding.
And it's Legos, baby.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. So this year, mostly looking at if we can play some vintage formats. I messaged you earlier today. I was like, "What are some good vintage Pokemon formats?" And obviously, with once again with the prices of all of those cards being what they are, we would proxy them, but that's fine with me.
Yeah.
We have that. We've had that draft cube. I think is still a lot of fun, but then
Oh yeah.
it was interesting going through some of the. I guess there's like these YouTube videos that do these 2010 meta highlights of the format, and then 2006, and there's some cool decks, dude,
Yeah.
from those days. So
Yeah, it's really just like 2010 format. That's sort of the most beloved
mm,
of the formats. It's where a lot of like the I say this and it's kind of funny, but that's if you played in 2010, you're considered an old head, right? Even though the game had already been out for 11 years in the US, 12 years in the US, but playing in 2010 was sort of the heyday, right? Being able to play with hand traps is the
mhm.
heyday. Being
That's
able to
crazy.
like
That's
being
crazy.
and it was the only format that it occurred, right? Having a Pokemon that you can start with that says, if you start me and your opponent doesn't have this card in front of you, you go first is crazy, right? None of that flipping a coin shit. None of that rock, paper, scissors. Me go first.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it's very highly regarded as one of the best. Again, I told you you can really have fun with a retro Pokemon format. One, because you don't have to worry about character recognition, right? Same Pokemon. You know all the Pokemon. You've been in it for 2 decades now. You know all the Pokemon, so we don't need to worry about that. We just need to know what the cards do. And on the whole, Creatures has really put together some decent game mechanics over the years. Some maybe less fun, but I mean, brother, we could sleeve up 2018 format and it'd be a blast.
Yeah.
Just because once an archetype is established and a meta is established, then you just pick and choose what's your favorite. The biggest part of 2010 Pokemon format for me is that one of the top decks I can play a Magikarp in. Like that's my favorite. It just so happens that it's a good deck, but I get to play a Magikarp. I can't do that in any other format.
I will, yeah. I'll say this too. I think it's an extra layer that's worth considering is that, at least for me, I really don't like rotations and ban lists and stuff like that. Playing, like playing the company's meta, right? Basically, them just saying like, the deck that you liked playing or the format, whatever it is, like, you're having fun with this thing. Well, we're not doing that anymore. You got to buy all new stuff or
Right.
do all new different things. And I think there's an element of that that's maybe healthy, but I am going back to the old head conversation. Ain't nobody got time. I don't have time for that. I don't. Like, I just listen. I bought the cards. I have the cards. Let me play them. And for you to just, again, if I'm competing and traveling and all that other fun stuff, okay, like I'll play your game. But outside of that, forget it. Even if it's locals, just like what we're playing for a pack. Okay, I'd rather just like not, and I don't know, just play what we were playing.
You said not.
Not. That's my best Borat voice, I suppose. I don't know.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So I guess that's where we're at. That's what's going on for 2026. Maybe playing more old stuff.
So is that the resolution? For the listeners, I posed the question to Ed before we started, and I said, "What is your 2026 TCG resolution that you are going to try and work towards?" So yours is get into more retro formats, play more old formats in cards, whether that be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and anything in between.
Yeah, I'd even be willing to experiment with Magic as well. Like, listen, proxies are on the table. It's like I'm a pro proxy kind of dude. So, as far as I'm concerned, just like I think all of these TCGs have, especially the ones that have been out in existence for 30 years, given how long they've been around, they're almost like they have these permutations of, it's like a Russian doll of board games within themselves. Like through each cycle or through each set or whatever, you have different sealed games that you can play within them, which is kind of a little bit more interesting to me than, again, whatever the random new thing that gets dumped out that I have to pay whatever make-believe prices that it is of the moment.
Yeah. Ain't that it? Well, that's good. That's good. I will be sure to hold you accountable to that resolution, and make sure you go to the gym, the Pokemon gym, at least once a month.
That's right. I guess the question stands for you as well. So, like, what are your TCG resolutions or resolution?
In 2026, I would like to win a non-locals tournament. So something that I travel for, whether that be not a side event, the main reason that I travel for a tournament, I would like to win that tournament.
Okay.
And again, I'm not saying winning locals. I'm not saying winning a side event. I want to win an event. Doesn't matter the game. It can be Pokemon. It can be Sorcery. It can be Cookie Run. It can be Neopets. I'm bringing it back. It could be Neopets.
Dang, that would be crazy.
I want to win an event in 2026.
Okay. So any game, but it has to be like a premier event.
Exactly, a premier event. Non-locals, non-side event. I want to win an event.
I think that's doable. I thought it was, honestly, I thought you were shooing for Cookie Run.
You and me both, brother. It was a It was a fun time down there in Kissimmee, Florida. Let me tell you.
Wait, what? Is that really where it was?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought it was in Orlando or something.
yeah, Orlando, Kissimmee, whatever. It's all the same, dude.
Kiss of me, kiss of you.
Yeah, fuck a me, fuck a you. Yeah, but
Okay. Well,
that's fun.
that
Fun
seems
cool.
totally doable. I think I don't know. I think the reps, I think the effort for Riftbound or One Piece looks a little different than maybe, a cookie run. But
Very much so. Yeah, very, very much so. But you know, we're gonna try our best, right?
and hey, listen,
That's why it's a resolution.
Meta2 Meta2 has an announcement planned for 2026 around OP.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, catch me
So,
at Collecticon Dallas playing Meta 2, winning 6 boxes of cards, and getting my picture with Charlie Herlocker.
dude, hearing that, like, oh, we have a plan to announce in 2026 reminds me of that, like, Trump meme where it's like, I have a concept of an idea. I'm like, okay, cool. Just let us know whenever it is you guys want to, like, really roll out OP for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like this time, for real, version 4 final. Let you know, I'd still show out. As long as it's worth. Let me reframe that too. As long as it's like, just make some sort of pricing that's not just a booster box or whatever, please.
Exactly.
We're past the time where the booster box values made it worth it.
We'd like
I know that sounds kind of shitty, but
we would in fact like for you to quote unquote make it nasty.
make it nasty. Yeah, yeah.
So
Give me some of them little, tournament packs. That's what we want. Make me feel special. I want a little gold sticker.
yeah. Ooh. I want a gold sticker and I don't want anybody else to have that gold sticker.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's elementary school, man. That's
That's what
all
I
it
want.
is.
That's right.
We all want to feel special.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
All
And
right,
then
Gabe.
outside of that, anything else?
No, catch me at your local bar playing 2004 Yu-Gi-Oh with Edward Chalupa and
Dude, it's crazy
ordering.
the people that come by and remember that guy's like, I want to buy you guys a beer. We should.
Yeah, he's like, "Can I watch? I'll buy you a beer." And it's like, brother, first of all, it's cold as shit out of here, which was rare because now Texas is in like the 80s, at least until today.
Yeah,
So it was cold as shit that day, and he's like, "Whoa, you guys are like out in the wild doing nerd stuff.
yeah.
Could I watch and pick up one of your cards?" Yeah, man, here you
We
go.
we need like the TCG equivalent of vintage, like a vintage TCG equivalent of a cuck chair.
I mean, that's what it was. We just need like a we just need like a fold out chair that we pull up to the end of the table. Like, can I
Yeah,
watch? It's like, yeah, man, you can watch.
yeah, but like from a distance.
Yeah, but like not to interfere with our gameplay.
Yeah,
But it was pretty cool. It was
yeah.
pretty sick.
All right. Well, cool, man. It was good catching up. We'll
Oh, I
keep
have
y'all.
I have a second resolution that this is for Giddm.
Oh shoot. Uh-oh.
The second resolution is for Giddm Games to be more consistent
Oh God. Yeah.
with recording. I know this seems crazy for our listeners to think like, why can't these fucking yuckos just sit down and record a podcast an hour a week? But I would like for us to go no longer than 2 weeks between uploads in the year of 2026.
And then I have another resolution.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Hold on. We're stacking
yeah.
the deck.
So chain link, what is it? 3 at this point.
It's Chain Link 3. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So chain link 3
Yeah.
that Crystal or shout out. Well, okay, I don't know. Name redacted.
Dang,
Somebody.
man. Come on, man. Don't use the government. Alec.
Yeah.
Alec.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Here, we'll run it again. We'll run it back. Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Alec. Somebody. We'll say somebody helps with the production requirements for
Yeah.
these activities.
So hire an unpaid intern.
As so has been once expressed. So
Yes. So hire an unpaid intern to edit our videos, and hey, maybe if that's not on one of our hosts, maybe those episodes come out every week. Who knows? I'm not gonna say they will.
yeah, exactly. As long as it
But
can't be my responsibility, then the things will happen. Things will
yeah.
happen. And I shout out, I did get this new deck box, dude. So
Oh God, get that old man out of here, dude.
you know what's crazy? Okay, one quick thing before we sign out. I was looking at this deck box last night. It's a Game Boy deck box. It's got the missing no. I love missing no. Like I actually wish the Pokemon company would lean into making that an actual Pokemon.
Yeah.
Different conversation, but someday when we were children playing Pokemon and old man used Pokeball,
Yeah.
what if we were just looking at ourselves in the future and
Damn. I'm
Catching-
old man that used Pokeball.
yes, I'm old man that used Pokeball on the
I'm
Weedle.
old man.
Yeah.
I'm the one teaching the young whippersnappers how to catch a Weedle.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Anyways, think about that.
I'm going to think about that while I stack
The
the deck.
deck. See ya.
Later, y'all.
Bye.